Wives podcast, your podcast for escaping life's monotony, inspiring self-love, and discovering the constant beauty of this ever-changing world.
On this week's episode, Allie and Regan share their highs and lows for the week, their favorite smells, and they continue to play their new travel game. Welcome to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. We are your navigators, Allison
and Regan, and welcome back, everybody, after a brief hiatus here on the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. Thank you so much for your patience with us as we had some fun and exciting things happening in life, and we didn't want to kind of half-bake an episode per se, so we're back at it here, though. Not to worry, we're going to finish out the year here with you, and today we're bringing you another Wildcard Wednesday episode, so thanks for tuning in today. But before we get started, just another quick plug for our website. As always, you can find us at www.wanderlustingwives.com, and there you can find really quick and easy links to all of our episodes, more information about us and some of our travels, and you can even have the opportunity to reach out to us. If you've been tuning into our Travel Tuesday episodes where we have guests on and they talk about travel stories, maybe related to a specific destination or not, those have been really fun, and if you've been listening to them, you might know that we are always looking for guests, and if you're interested in being a guest, feel free to reach out to us. So Allie, what are the ways in which people can get in touch with us and follow along?
Yeah, all I have to say is if you didn't know we were on a break, it's because you're not following us on social media. So sorry, but
good point.
You should follow us on social media because we made multiple posts about it. We were sharing our favorite episodes. So you're missing out if you're not following us. So if you're not following us, go check us out on Instagram. That's at Wanderlusting Wives. Facebook, Wanderlusting Wives Podcast, Twitter at Wanderlust Wives, and then we also have an email that's wanderlustingwives@gmail.com. Feel free to let us know what you're liking in the episode, some feedback. We'd love to hear from you, or if you want to be a guest on the podcast, you can always email us there. And most importantly, make sure you give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. We really like your feedback, and your ratings do help out our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been seeing some more 5-star reviews come rolling through. So thank you to all of you who are rating us. And also just thank you for being a listener here on our podcast. We really appreciate it, and that you're here along for the journey with us. So with all of that nonsense out of the way, let's get started here with our first segment, our escape segment, where we're going to spin a wheel. And we're going to see what we're going to talk about. And it might be super random, or it might be something that we have an actual lot to talk about. So let's see what we've got for today. All right. So I think on our last Wildcard Wednesday episode, we talked about feelings and emotions and some of those best feelings. I believe we talked a lot actually, because emotions are part of everyday life. But this time we're going to talk about some scrumptious scents. So these are the kinds of things that it's like, okay, you have a scent, like something that you smell and it takes you back to a memory in time or something like that, or just something that you really love. But just like how our senses, particularly for today, the sense of smell plays into our everyday lives and kind of into our emotions in a way too for some of them. Does anything spring to mind for you, Allie?
Yeah, this is extremely like niche, but the smell of my grandma's laundry. Okay, that sounds so weird. It's her clean laundry, okay, not her dirty laundry. Her clean laundry. Shout out to you, Nana, if you're listening to this. I'm talking about you. But yeah, the smell of her clean laundry. I don't know which detergent she uses, so if you are listening to this, let me know. But just like the smell of like whenever we would go there for Thanksgiving, go to her house for Thanksgiving, and we'd wash our clothes, I just always remember like not wanting to wash our clothes again because it just would like take away the smell and we'd have to use our own detergent, which is silly. But
Aww.
Yeah, just the smell of grandma's house, but specifically her laundry.
That's amazing. I mean, honestly, though, every time you walk past a laundry vent or something, how does it always smell so good? So then when there's that extra something special about it, I can only imagine how good that is. My gosh.
Yeah, so really
Ugh.
niche, but a good scent.
Yeah, definitely. So at my grandparents' house, my grandparents are in their 90s. So when I would go there, all the toys I'd be playing with were from 50s, like a long time ago. And I'd open up the cabinet and it would be like the smell of old books.
Mm-hmm.
Like you walk into what's the Book of Kells and like that whole Trinity library and everything in Ireland. It's like you walk in there and you really get that smell of old books and it's very distinct. But at grandma's house, it was like that mixed with like this sweetness of like just her and her baked goods and everything. So like grandma's house definitely has like those special scents that like, and even there was one a couple weeks ago, my mom pulled out a book that she found and I smelled it and I was like, oh my goodness, this smells like grandma's cabinet. And it's funny how it's like, it might not be a book that's come from her cabinet, but just that smell is so familiar, even out of context. It's just like, yeah, I feel like the relationships in our lives, like smell can be really meaningful, especially years later. Like if someone passes or something, like you can hold on to that smell elsewhere too. That's yeah.
Shout out to the grandparents in our lives.
Yeah.
The smells are nostalgic.
Love them. Yeah, I said goodbye to my grandparents before moving to Florida, and I just bawled the whole way home because it's just like that's a special relationship, and once you get to be old enough for that relationship to be a choice and not just like, oh well, we're following mom and dad to their house, like the stories they have to tell, and like we looked through my grandparents' high school yearbook, like it's just that's such a special, unique relationship. I know you hold your relationships with your grandparents so closely
Mm-hmm.
too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Trying to think of
We're getting off
yeah, I know, I'm
topic.
trying to think of other smells. I know, like, I can't think of a lot right now, but I know once we're done, like, there's gonna be so many that come to mind, but another one that's coming to mind is, the smell of cinnamon rolls always reminds me of Christmas morning. So my mom would always make cinnamon rolls every Christmas for breakfast. So it always takes me back, no matter what time of year, really. It's like the smell of cinnamon rolls just reminds me of Christmas morning at my parents' house. So, and it's also delicious. So how can you not like the
Yes.
smell of it, whether you have a memory associated or not?
Oh, of course. Cinnamon rolls are so underrated. Let me tell you too, they are extremely hard to make correctly, you know? Mm.
Yeah, I know. I've recently dived into making cinnamon rolls from scratch, and yeah, it's a commitment.
Yeah. But so worth it. If you get that good balance of gooey and like a little crispy, like it's all good, and then that smell, oh, as they're baking, it's
Mhm.
torture.
Yes.
I think for me, like I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything about Disney World because I feel like also from a very young age, and I feel like I talked to a coworker or something about this recently about how you really only as a kid get a full sensory impression of a few different places when you're growing up. So like, and Disney was one of those places for me where we'd go all the time or whatever, and it was great to be with family. And but it's these smells. I don't know, for anyone who's been to Disney World, in Spaceship Earth in Epcot, there's one section where there's animatronics and stuff, and it's like all the story of technology and communication and how it came to be. And part of that is the burning libraries of Alexandria and Rome and everything. And the smell of that, like those burning books, oh my gosh, it is like it evokes something in me that's just like it takes me back. It's so good. And then honestly, weirdly enough, the smell of a Disney hotel lobby, very strange because it's like a mix of way too much air conditioning and humidity and people all from all over the place, but it's and like cleaning supplies, but somehow it's a good smell, or maybe that's just like it's not actually a good smell, but it like takes me back to a place where I feel comfortable and at peace and stuff. Like, I don't know, but it's very distinct, and it's just a mixture of who even knows what sometimes. It's very, very strange, but gonna throw that one in there.
Wow, that just sparked a sense in me that I kind of forgot about. And that is Clunk and Puff.
Oh, Clunk and Puff. Good stuff. Oh my gosh, what a good story. Oh, man.
Yeah, so it has to do with Disney, and you can maybe fill in the blanks here, but Regan and I went to Disney, we were probably like 16 maybe?
Yeah,
roughly.
something around there, yeah.
Around that age. Anyways, kind of irrelevant to the story, but we were teenagers with Regan's family, and we went to Disney, and we were staying, do you remember which
it was one of the
resort
or no, we were at Pop Century, I think. Yeah, Pop Century.
Pop Century? Yeah, we were at Pop Century Resort, and they have like those metal things that you like lock the door with, but the neighbors kept theirs like, I don't know what you call it, like open, I guess, so that the door has like the gap, it's not fully closed. If you've been to a hotel room, you know what I'm trying to say. That part that keeps the door partially open without having it locked. Well, these people would smoke a ton, and the door would clunk a ton as they would go in and out of the room smoking. So we just called them Clunk and Puff. Obviously not to their faces, but when we were in our own hotel room and away from them, we would call them Clunk and Puff. So that is a memory that sticks with me. So I guess the smell of cigarettes reminds me of Clunk and Puff in Disney.
At least it's like, so sometimes when you see or hear or smell cigarettes of any kind, it's just kind of like, ugh. Like you get this kind of like pit in your stomach, like gross, grimy. But that's good that cigarettes had a like funny memory for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sure if we sat here for the rest of the evening talking about smells, we'd just keep coming up with more and more. I could do an entire episode on smells in Disney World, honestly. And I really do think it's like you only have a few places impressed upon you as a child, really. But so anyways, I digress. Let's move on to our next segment, our Inspire segment, where we're just going to be honest about our highs and lows. Allie, you want to kick us off?
And now a quick word from our sponsor. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. The entire web becomes listenable for the first time, all in one place. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling and start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud. And the best part, they have podcasts. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. You can even find us there. I started using it as my default podcast app. They even have a digital radio. Download and use Newsly for free now at www.newsly.me or from the link in the description, and use promo code WIVES. That's WIVES. And you can get a 1-month free premium subscription. You can find all this information in our description from this episode. And now back to our episode.
Yeah, so if you were listening to our last episode, we're talking about summer being over and back to school starting. So back to school has started. I'm only like maybe 4 or 5 days in at this point. So, I'm still kind of in like the honeymoon phase. It's exciting, but my class has been super great so far this year. Probably the best starts to back to school that I've had, and this is my 4th year of teaching. So it's been really, really great the past couple of days, just getting to know my students. I'm getting to know me and having fun together, and I'm excited for the rest of the school year. And hopefully it continues on this path. I'm hopeful that it is, because we've been setting up a lot of good foundations and expectations so that things progress well as we go throughout the year. And then I have a hard time coming up with my low this week, which is a good thing. But, for this segment, I need to have something. So I guess my low, which I think will eventually turn into a high, but my husband Nate is studying for a test for work, and he's an investment data analyst, so he's taking an exam that has to go with that. Anyways, He's taken the first part, past that. Now there's a second part that he has to take next week. And that has been very, very, very stressful for him. So it's been hard to see him be stressed out because the test is only offered once a year, I think, for each section. So a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see him be stressed out about that. And he'll be totally fine come test day. But like I said, I think it's going to be a high because I'm sure he's going to pass. But just kind of holding our breath till we get there. And it'll be nice because he took the CPA not long after we graduated college. Then he started taking this test. So once this is over, we'll have a lot of extra time together that we haven't had since we've been married. So like I said, it'll be a high, but now it's a low while he makes his way to the finish line.
Well, you're totally a part of that too. Like the emotional pressure on you too, or like picking up slack around the house or anything like that. Like that's a lot for you too, like as a unit. So good luck to Nate. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
And then thank God no more testing. My goodness, it's been a long ride.
Yeah, counting down the days.
I bet. Yeah, well, okay, so in the past 2 weeks, as we've been paused on our podcast here, I moved from New York to Florida. And so now I am residing in Tampa, Florida, and so far I love it. It's really nice to just wake up and know that there's going to be sun out every day and that it's going to be warm and sunny, and people are happy to be around because it's warm and sunny. And it's just been really, really great to kind of establish a new home completely just me and Nolan. We've never really had that, like moving to New York. Like his family helped move us in and we were so grateful for it. But then it was like we didn't really see each other a ton, and moving to Rochester was easy because family was around. But like this time it's really just like our own adventure, just the two of us, and we're both working from home. So it's been just really, really great to kind of have an adventure together in a place that's beautiful. Our apartment is gorgeous. I'm just like loving it so much, and getting to go to the pool and all of that. So that's definitely a high, is like just thankful to be feeling comfortable in this new home halfway across the country, which I never think of Florida as halfway across the country, or no, it is across the country. I always think of like California as across the country, but Florida is also. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But with that, there's a lot to get to know about Florida, and I'm not too worried about hurricanes where we're located in Tampa. I'm not super worried about it, and the locals also don't seem worried about it. They're just kind of like, yeah, this is what we do, and it's kind of similar to how we are up north with like snowstorms or whatnot. But the bugs are definitely something to get used to here in Florida. We the first night here, we saw probably the biggest bug we've seen since being here. Palmetto bugs. If you do not know what they are giant flying cockroaches, which is a lot of fun. Don't Google them. You'll probably have nightmares. But I've been doing okay with it. Nolan was a little more stressed than I was, but we've been figuring it out. We have pest control that comes, and we have spray. Like, we're well equipped now, but it was just definitely something to get used to. That it's just with the moisture and everything down here, there's a lot of bugs. So yeah, definitely to get used to it really quickly, and it's not great, but you get sunshine, so it's the trade-off. But yeah, so for being low, if it's just bugs, I guess we can handle it for the rest of the goodness that comes with it.
Yeah, only if they start paying rent, right? If they're going to be hanging around, they better, start paying. And
Totally. Like, honestly, Indy is great, our cat, for being on bug patrol. He's earning his rent. Like, he can stay here rent-free if he keeps killing bugs. I'm good with it.
That's good. Now I know what to get you for Christmas. A fly swatter or some kind of bug traps.
Yes, we're well stocked on bug traps. Nolan drove out at like 11 p.m. on our first night here to go and get everything. But yeah, we're doing really well. It's been really, really exciting. We're exhausted, but glad to be here safely. And yeah, good times.
Good. I'm glad to hear it's going well.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Well, moving right along to our final segment here, where we, in the past few episodes, have kind of shifted gears on what we're doing, and we're going to be playing our game again. And Allie, we really need to come up with a name for this. So let's chat. Let's figure out a name, because currently it's all a very long, like, hyphenated name, kind of like find a destination and guess the price. Like, that's not really catchy or rings a bell. So yeah, let's chat about it. But anyways,
Sounds good.
as we're in this beta testing phase of this game, so we each had to find a destination, flying out tonight, this evening, from Pittsburgh Airport, anywhere in the world, and we have to guess how much that flight is. And then once we get there, there's an activity awaiting for us, and we have to guess the price of that. For the flights, you can be within $100. You get 3 guesses. And for the activity, it's within $25?
Yeah, 20 or 25.
All right, let's do 20, an even number.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so then, yeah, for the activity, it has to be within $20. So we haven't done super well the past few times, but I'm feeling good about third time's the charm. So I can get us started this time.
Let's go for it.
All right, here we go, Allie. So tonight you are flying out to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Okay. Let's see. From Pittsburgh to Rio. I'm going to say 1,200.
Higher.
Oh, no. 3,500.
Higher.
What? I'm definitely not going. 6,000?
Too high.
Okay, thank goodness.
You're at $5,024 if you want to fly to Rio tonight.
Am I flying first class? Holy smokes.
You might be. That might be all that's left. Like, literally, my first choice was Buenos Aires, and there were no flights, so you probably will get. This might be a good ticket. So, you know what?
Take what I can get.
Yeah. All right, so you are not getting to Rio, but if you were, and also if you get this, you can hang on to the ticket, but you just have to buy your own ticket another time, and that might be better because you can get a way better deal than flying out tonight for $5,000. Okay, so you get to Rio, and you're going to have a beautiful hang gliding adventure. You're going to see the water, you're going to see the jungle, the mountains, everything. It's going to be amazing. Hang gliding adventure in Rio.
Okay. Hang gliding in Rio. I'm going to say $210.
Lower.
Okay. 150.
Yay, you get to go hang gliding. Yay! $156. Honestly, I thought that was way lower than I would have guessed.
Yeah, well, I forget what the price was now, but like kayaking in Alaska to see glaciers was like almost $200. So that's not nearly as dangerous as hang gliding.
Yeah. So congratulations, you get a ticket to go on this hang gliding adventure. But I'm sad to say that you will not get to Rio to use it. So
it's okay. I can't go tonight anyway, so I guess it all worked out.
Ah, man. Okay, yeah, great. Well, look on the bright side, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to trips because I picked Lima, Peru.
Ooh, I've always wanted to go there. Okay, hit me. Let's see. I'm gonna start 2,500.
Lower.
Oh, thank goodness. This could actually maybe be affordable. I'm gonna say 1,800.
Lower. You could actually afford this.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
You could get up and leave because it doesn't leave until 9:45 p.m. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally. Might not have time to check your bag, but you're going.
That's okay.
I'm going if I can guess this. Okay. Let's say I'm gonna go real low, like $500.
Really close. 300.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. When I saw that, I was like, is this correct? Yeah, $300.
What? Oh my gosh.
I know.
I know South America is like, oh, God bless all of them, but like there's some issues happening in lots of South American countries, and I have to believe that's why It's so cheap. Oh my gosh, why is it so cheap?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair though, the first leg of the trip is Frontier, but for $300.
Yeah,
cheap.
I'd fly Frontier to Lima, Peru.
Yeah. The second leg, there's like 2 layovers. I forget where they are now, but I think one's in like Panama. But anyways, the other airline is Copa. I don't know anything about it, but sounds like it's cheap. So Lima, Peru, cheap place to go, I guess.
Well, I'm not going anyways, so I guess I won't find out. But
yeah, that's okay. Maybe you can do the activity, and it is the ultimate Peruvian food tour.
Oh gosh, please let me get this. I am going $90.
Right on the nose. It is $90.
Oh my gosh, wait. This is so sad to me though, because it was actually an affordable flight and I didn't get it, but I am going to miss the food tour even though I have a ticket and I'm really sad about it.
I know, like, what? Let's see, 300, less than like $400 to do the ultimate Peruvian food tour and get there?
Man.
That's a steal.
What am I doing right now? Like, I need to sign off and get to the airport.
I know, you better hurry.
Well, neither of us can get to our destinations, but we're going to have fun when we eventually do get that ticket. So, cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to another Wildcard Wednesday episode. Like I said, we are back at it for the rest of the year, so don't go away. Keep tuning in every week, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wanderlusting Lives podcast. Come escape with us again every other Tuesday for Travel Tuesdays and every other Wednesday for Wildcard Wednesdays.
Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a follow on all of our social media and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next time, wander on.